Okay, fellas, great stuff domestically lately, but now it's time for us to switch our attention to the Europa League. I know none of us really want to be in this competition, but we need to be switched on because we do have a little bit of a group of death scenario here, and no one likes death. We die if we come fourth, and we don't want to be dead, okay, boys? So I want some big positivity out there. Let's try and get something out of this group and at least make our way into the Conference League knockouts, okay? Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 63 of Husavik Heroes here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and coming up today we start the Europa League group stage of our 6th season, our 4th one in Europe, with a home game against Atletico Madrid, and off the back of that we do have a domestic game, and we'll reveal exactly what that is shortly once we do our recap. So if you are looking forward to today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying this series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It would be greatly appreciated. But on screen you can see our group of death. If you missed yesterday's episode where this got drawn, I'll leave a link to it above my head in the top right corner. I think I've just recovered from that draw and all those events in yesterday's episode where a various amount of UEFA shenanigans screwed us over royally. Getting rid of the away goals rule did not help us in our playoff with Young Boys, and then we get drawn in by far the strongest of the groups in the Europa League. I think it is fair to say Atletico Madrid, Lazio and Midtjylland, who also went out alongside us in the Champions League playoff. You can see the order of fixtures here. First up we've got Atletico Madrid at home, and it is Lazio hosting Midtjylland. You would expect the top two teams seated in the group to be winning those two games, and then we kick back into the Europa League off the back of finishing the domestic season. But before we get into the first game of today's episode, we do need to do a little bit of a recap and show you guys what the second game of today's episode is going to be. So we left things off the back of that penalty loss to Young Boys yesterday. Off the back of that, we did have a Mjolkurbikarinn semi-final, and we did pick up a very comprehensive victory yet again, 5-1 over Keflavik with our rotated team. A double to Pedro, Ledson, Shaun and Rubio also coming up with goals. They got one back late, but we make our way through to the Mjolkurbikarinn final for the third season in a row, and we'll look to win it for the second season in a row. In the second game of today's episode, taking on Nats KR, and our form in between yesterday and today has been nothing short of sensational. We have just changed our mentality in matches a little bit because I accidentally went attacking for that Keflavik game thanks to my assistant manager, and our form since then has actually been really good on an attacking mentality. So we are going to be trying that out in today's episode. It might be a little bit of a mistake in that Atletico Madrid game, but we'll try it out because I don't think we've got a lot to lose against the team the quality of Atletico Madrid, but we'll definitely be using it in the Mjolkurbikarinn final, as we did beat Nats KR 8-0 with that mentality and with a first choice 11 of players, which hopefully we'll be able to back up from that Atletico game in that Mjolkurbikarinn final. But the other bit of news leading into today's episode is that we have sealed the title domestically. We have won it for the 4th season now. The game in which we did seal it was that 3-0 win against Lechner Reykjavik. It took us a little while to get the goals in this game. Yao Pedro with a late double and Arnason to seal things with 5 minutes left, and we lift the title against some of the players who we do have out on loan from the club at the moment. Obviously, they weren't available to play against us in that game, but if we have a look at the league table off the back of that trophy lift, we are 11 points clear now that we have played our games in hand of Vala Reykjavik. 3 games left in our season, and HK Nats and Lechner are the teams battling out for those remaining European spots. Vala Reykjavik already guaranteed one. HK will probably get one. The real battle is between Nats KR and Lechner Reykjavik. Quietly hoping Lechner Reykjavik do get that, as they have a few of our players, as I said before, on loan at the club at the moment, albeit with 2 games left. They are 2 points behind Nats KR, so will need a little bit of luck if they are to get their way into European football for next season. But the first game of today's episode is our first Europa League group game. We take on Atletico Madrid. A quick look at these guys before we do get into the action. There is their squad. It is ridiculously strong. The likes of Luke Shaw, Jimenez, Quartes, Oblak, Jorginho and Sal in the midfield. And then they've got Llorente with Felix as a shadow striker. Diego Simeone still in charge at the Spanish Giants, who currently find themselves struggling in La Liga, albeit only after 4 games down in 14th position. So they might be a little bit vulnerable based on that, but they are a team who should be a lot better than us, and it's going to be interesting to see how this attacking mentality does get on against the team the quality of Atletico Madrid, seeing as it has done us quite well domestically since the end of yesterday's episode. And something else that we do need to bring you guys up to date with is the injury to Leandro Diaz. Forgot to bring you guys an update on that at the end of yesterday's episode, getting caught up in all the drama of the Europa League group stage draw. It was a fairly serious injury, sprained knee ligaments. He's already sat out a bit of time and is going to miss the first game of these Europa League group stages as well as the rest of the domestic season. Probably he is out for 11 days to 3 weeks, so a very similar time frame of injuries for both him and Raul Prada. So thankfully we do have Roselli registered for the Europa League, but that's really the only first team injury we currently have. Sekularek, our good versatile bench option, is just recovering from his double hernia, so pretty close to being full strength for the start of this year's Europa League, and we'll come back shortly from the Laogardas of Ola and see what we can do against Simeone's Atletico Madrid. And we do have TV coverage for this first Europa League group stage game against Atletico Madrid. There you can see our squad and our hot form going into this one. That one changed Roselli at left back instead of the injured Leandro Diaz. And there is that Atletico Madrid team that we ran through before. It is a very strong team, one which should really be topping this group. And we'll see what we can do here, going a little bit attacking at home against Diego Simeone's men. We are at home in the green. They are in the red and white with the blue shorts. And we do have a highlight straight from the kickoff. So this could be a little bit worrying if it goes the way that I'm expecting it to, albeit they have given us the ball. So maybe we can strike early, which would be exactly what's needed and give me a little bit of hope in this attacking mentality for the rest of these 90 minutes, because I'm not sure if it's that good an idea, and that's not that good of a pass there, giving the ball straight to Jorginho. There was one of our players, and they now look to counter from the back. Kaiki on the ball there, but it's a poor pass. Carlo's able to snuff that out. Nygaard to Nicolucci. Cadena, can we get something going here? Rubio, he tucks it away, and we might be 1-0 up here inside of a minute. We will wait to see what VAR has to say, but this would be a dream start, and this could put us in line for some unexpected points at home here against Atletico Madrid. And the goal does stand. It is the Spaniard himself, Benjamin Rubio, who will tuck this away. A little bit fortunate, a little bit messy from both teams to start off with, but Rubio is one-on-one with the keeper, slots it away, and we go 1-0 up here very early in our first Europa League group stage game. 32 minutes gone, and we do have a throw-in in the second highlight of this game. Looking quite good on the attacking mentality so far, and that potentially could be a penalty. That's a really close one, that one. Jimenez on Rubio right on the edge of the box. We will see. This could be a superb first half for us. If this is a penalty, indeed it is not, though. Must have just been on the edge of the box. We will get shown the free kick, though. I think it is Rubio who might be taking this. In fact, it's Nygaard, Swiderski, far post, but Kaiki just flicks that out for a throw-in, and it does remain 1-0, 10 minutes shy of half-time, but so far looking quite promising. And that is half-time in this Europa League group stage game against Atletico Madrid, and I am a very happy chappy here. At half-time, we are 1-0 up, and based on the stats and the XG graph, it's hard to say that we don't deserve it. So hopefully we can keep this up in the second half. So far, the attacking mentality does seem to be working. We will make no changes to a good thing, and hopefully we can hold on here to pick up a big win at home. 55 minutes gone. First highlight of the second half is a free kick to Atletico Madrid. The only thing that's happened so far as we get back in possession is that Galtason has picked up a yellow card. Cadena trying to slot Rubio through there for a double, but just a little bit too much on that ball, and Rubio can't quite get to it before the Atletico defence. But this has been a good opening 55 minutes from us so far. Hopefully we can keep it up, although that's a really nice ball there out to Gabriel Menino there out on the right-hand side, puts that in the mixer. Sal wins the header. Jorginho up for João Felix. He makes his way around our defence. It's a tight angle for him. Squares that for Menino, and he tucks it away, and that is not what we were after. We've looked pretty good so far in this game, but they grab an equaliser here with their first real highlight of any threat in this game so far, and it was all thanks to the magic of João Felix. Not much surprise there. He is night and day compared to the quality that we have in our team, and it's all square 10 minutes into the second half. 64 minutes gone now. It's another highlight with Atletico Madrid in possession from a free kick, having to play out from the back, and it is Simicas out at left back for them now. So a high quality substitution, and so far in the second half they have really come out firing. Mustn't be too happy with how that first half went, but hopefully we can hold on for at least a draw here after that good first half. They are holding the ball up very nicely. It's a far post ball there for Menino, and that forces a really good save, that one out of Sierra Fellini. We've got 25 minutes left to try and hold on for what would be a big point if we can get something out of that game. This would be very unexpected, but Jose Jimenez with a near post corner. It's a really well done one. Finds the top right corner, and we do go behind to Atletico Madrid. Potentially should have gone to a positive mentality, but now we are in search of a goal, so we'll leave it on attacking. But it's a really nice corner routine, that, and they've kicked into gear in the second half. Have Atletico about 20 minutes left. We are 2-1 down, and it's time for us to make a substitution. Nicolussi Caviglia is down to a red heart, so Gavioli can come on for him. Hopefully we can find an equaliser in these last 20 minutes. And shortly off the back of that first substitution, a free kick here for Atletico Madrid, trying to pick someone out there at the far post. It's headed away, but Koulibaly will tidy things up, and they hold the ball nicely just outside the box. They're starting to look very threatening here in the second half and getting right on top of us, as the scoreboard does suggest. If only we could wrestle that momentum back like we did in the first half, but it looks like they have come out very angry here in the second half, and it's João Felix getting slotted through there by Saul, and that should really wrap things up. They have been far too good for us here in the second half. It is now 3-1 Atletico. It was a good first half, but they've just been far too good for us here in the second half. It's good short passing, and João Felix, he's not going to miss a chance like that one-on-one with Sierra Fellini, and we do go 2 goals down with just under 20 minutes left, and we are going to make our last few substitutions to try and get back in this game. Arneson for Nygaard, Golido for Carlo, and we'll see if we can find a way back into this game. Inside the last minute of play here of referees added time, and a clearance there which does find Cadena. Can we get a consolation goal late in this game? A lot of space down the right there for Arneson. Opts not to try and find him, although it's a really dangerous tackle, and it doesn't really matter. It looks like Nandez is going to get shown a red card, and Didi does, albeit that's going to have very little impact on the final result. If only that happened around the half-time mark, that could have given us the real positivity to try and kick on here for a result, but it does look like Atletico Madrid are going to hold on for a 3-1 win. You can see after that early flurry of chances that we did have, we didn't really do much else for the rest of the game. Atletico Madrid really stepping things up in that second half, and we couldn't quite hang with them, especially after that Galtason yellow card. That might have been a little bit more important than I realised. We potentially should have gone to something a little bit more balanced once we did go a goal up as well, but we did get a nice early goal in the attacking mentality. Thought we might be able to potentially get a second and really try and kill the game off. Unfortunately, it did not happen, and we do lose our first game in the Europa League group stage at home to Atletico Madrid, albeit I think that's a game where we weren't really expecting to get many points out of it anyway. So we'll take that and move on into the remaining games, especially those ones against Midtjylland, where hopefully we can beat those guys twice and make our way into a strong position to try and finish third in our group. But we'll just get through the remainder of this post-match interview and see what happened in the other game in our group. And there you can see on screen right at the top, Lazio did get a late second half goal there, and they pick up a win. So as expected, Atletico and Lazio picking up wins. Us and Midtjylland are down on 0 points. We are slightly below them thanks to goal differential, but hopefully we can turn that around in the first game of tomorrow's episode against those guys. But we will come back shortly and try and make it 2 Mjolkubikarins in a row against Nuts KR. And here are the team sheets for the Mjolkurbikarinn final. We are putting out exactly the same 11 that we put out for that previous game against Atletico Madrid. Hopefully these guys are fit enough to handle the backup. There is the Nuts KR lineup. No real familiar names there, but we'll see how we get on against these guys with the attacking mentality. Hopefully we can put on a bit of a show and do something similar to the 8-0 win we got against these guys in the league not that long ago. 8 minutes gone. First highlight in the Icelandic Cup Final is in our favour, and hopefully we can continue our dominance domestically here and bounce back from that loss to Atletico Madrid as we look to play out from the back here. Mjolkurbikarinn over for Kadina. Good chance. 1-on-1. It's a really duff shot. It nearly comes off, but it comes off the upright. Good early chance there, but it remains 0-0 coming up to the 10-minute mark. Up to the 27-minute mark, and it is a throw-in for us yet again on the left-hand side, albeit it is a poor one, and Nats can look to get something going here on the counter-attack, and that's far too easy for Ndawa. Luckily, though, it's a really good save that from Sarah Fellini, so a good chance for either team now. That one a little bit scary, but we do keep it at 0-0 on the attack now inside the final third. Ian Carlo just outside the box. He finds Nygaard, and for Nicolucci, and he also hits the post. That's two chances for us that have come off the upright in the first 30 minutes. It does remain 0-0, and we have yet another highlight shortly off the back of that. So it's starting to all kick off here around the half-hour mark, and Nats were in possession on the attack briefly there, but luckily we do get the ball back and now look to build out from the back. Nicolucci, after just getting that one coming off the woodwork, is on the ball, and we look to play it amongst our defence. Corbo just taking his time here, starts to drive forward as he can. Galtis on that yellow card to him, as I said before, might have been a little bit more important in that game against Atletico than we thought it might, but there's a good ball over there. Swiderski plays that out to Kadina for some reason. Back in the mixer, and Swiderski tucks it away. That's why he played the ball out. Wanted to score with his head instead of his feet, and we do get the opening goal in the Icelandic Cup Final just after the half-hour mark. I thought he might be able to go through one-on-one there, but plays it out to Kadina, and he gets the assist. Good header there from the Slovakia midfielder, and it's 1-0 Volsungur, about 12 minutes shy of halftime. And that is halftime in this Icelandic Cup Final. We are 1-0 up thanks to that goal to Swiderski. To be fair, it hasn't been our best performance domestically this one. It's been probably our most average one for quite some time, at least since we did switch to the attacking mentality, but we do have the 1-0 lead. Hopefully, we can kick on here in the second half and finish these guys off to win it for the third time and the second time in a row. 52 minutes gone. We have our first highlight here of the second half, and it is a Nygaard free kick. Can he get this one on target? He's scored from here before. That one does go a fair way wide, though. It is a goal kick, so nothing too threatening there, but now we have another free kick. This time Galtis on. He puts that in for Patrick Nygaard, and he will get his head on the end of that. Not often that Patrick Nygaard scores with headers. We haven't had right wingers scoring headers for quite some time since Wilson Isidore was a regular member of this team, but he's given a bit of space there at the far post. I think all those defenders were looking at Mbiyamba, but Nygaard just slides through and makes it 2-0 about 10 minutes into the second half of this Icelandic Cup Final. And not too long off the back of that, we do have another highlight here, a goal kick to Nuts KR, and hopefully we can get one more to really kill this game off just around the hour mark and start to relax as we look for a domestic quadruple for the second season in a row off the back of securing the league title in between the end of yesterday's episode and the start of today's one, albeit Nuts KR are in possession. Mbiyamba should be able to tie that up. In fact, Sarah Fellini will do, and maybe we can create that third goal from the back here as we do approach the hour mark. Galtis on to Corbo, out to Roselli on a yellow card, having a decent game. He's being asked to play a lot of football with Diaz out. Nicolucci tries a chip, forces a little bit of a scratchy save there out of the Nuts KR goalkeeper, but he does keep it out after it did come off the woodwork and his hands. But Nygaard puts us into the mixer. Kadina hits the woodwork as well, so I think that's now about 4 times that we have hit the woodwork in this final. Nygaard does lose the ball, and it's still 2-0 just after the hour mark. And 70 minutes gone in the final, it is still 2-0, and it's time for us to make a triple substitution. We're going to get rid of all these players on red hearts. Gavioli will come on for Caviglia. In terms of Kadina, we will bring on João Pedro for him, as he can play on the left wing, so we'll see what he can do out there, and Arnason can come on for Swiderski in the midfield to partner Gavioli. 2-0 up with 20 minutes left in this cup final still. And shortly off the back of those substitutions, Nuts KR are on the attack, and Dow gets in behind our defence here. Hopefully, we can stop them getting anything off here, and Dow does get a header off, but Serafellini makes a pretty safe save, and that is not the end of this highlight. So hopefully, we can get something going here from the back. Gavioli plays it up to Patrick Nygaard, ball over the top, and João Pedro just in behind the defence. Will he take the shot on? He kind of does. It is blocked by the goalkeeper. Unfortunately, the rebounds off his foot, goes out for a goal kick, and we will get shown that goal kick, and we do get possession back there through Corbo. Tries to play a ball in deep there for Benjamin Rubio. Can't quite find him, but we do get possession back there from the goalkeeper's clearance, and we try and play that through for João Pedro. Can't quite find him, but yet again, off the clearance, we will look to build something from the back as Corbo finds Galtason, plays it back to Serafellini, and Corbo will look to drive forward here again for us. Roselli up to Pedro. That's a bit of a poor pass, and we do lose possession, nearly getting it back there through one of our midfielders. It might have, in fact, even been Arnason. Good slide tackle there from Carlo, but the ball falls back to Nuts KR, and it is Dow who gets the ball back, tucks it away in the bottom right corner, and it is game on again here with 12 minutes left. Nuts KR get a goal to make it 2-1. We had a few chances here to get the ball back. We didn't quite do it. I thought it was a good slide tackle there from Carlo. Unfortunately, it falls nicely to Magnusson. Back to Dow. He picks up an assist. Dow with the goal. And it's interesting with 12 minutes left, 2-1 as we enter the late stages of the Icelandic Cup Final. Getting into the last few minutes of this Cup Final, still 2-1, but we do have 3 minutes of added time, and it is a free kick here in favour of Nuts KR, albeit we do get possession back shortly off of that, and hopefully we can hold it for these last few minutes to see out this final. Not a great performance, it's fair to say, especially considering this team beat the exact same opposition 8-0 not too long ago in the league, although that's quite good there from Rubio, and slots through João Pedro. What can he do from a tight angle? Opens up his body wonderfully. There it is, João Pedro. He picks up another goal this season, tucks in the top right corner, and that will seal our second Icelandic Cup in a row, our third one in this save. Rubio tracking back nicely to get that ball, slots through João Pedro, just opens that body up nicely, as I said, to find the top right corner, and that should see this out 3-1 with only 1 minute of added time left, about matching our XG both teams in the final. So a pretty good performance, as I said before. Would have been nice to win that a little more comfortably based on our recent form domestically, but we will take it. Good bounce back from that second half collapse there against Atletico Madrid in the Europa League, and we do pick up the Mjolkurbikarinn, as I said, for the second time in a row, the third time in this save, and that does mean we win the domestic quadruple for the second season in a row here at Volsungur. And back in the inbox off the back of those 2 games back-to-back in today's episode, and off the back of picking up the quadruple for the second season in a row. And we do finish off the season domestically in style, albeit we do still have a few league games left, but we're not going to be focusing too much on those as long as we can get the bodies into the main part of the Europa League group stages with everyone fit and available. So that will do it for today's episode, picking up the Mjolkurbikarinn for the third time, the second time in a row off the back of a defeat in our first Europa League game, which does leave us tied at the bottom with Midtjylland, with Lazio picking up the win in the other game in the group stage. In between tomorrow and the end of today's episode, we will finish off the league season now that that has been wrapped up. Back against Letnia Reykjavik, we'll play the HK Vela Reykjavik and Nuts KR games off camera, and we'll come back and get stuck into the group stages of the Europa League. Tomorrow we will bring you guys the games away at both Midtjylland and Lazio. Those away games in continental competitions can be tricky, but hopefully we can grab some points off our Danish counterparts, and that should set us up for a good launching pad to hopefully finish third in this Europa League group at least, because our chances of getting points off both Lazio and Atletico Madrid are pretty unlikely. It is fair to say, but if you did enjoy today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying this series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But until tomorrow, when we get stuck into the Europa League group stage properly with both Midtjylland and Lazio away, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.